marriage is a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something like what can you purchase and it takes no maintenance and it takes no upkeep and it takes no rotating of the tires, no tune up. Like what can you purchase and it doesn't? I'm thinking of an object to give you an example of what marriage is not. It takes work, man. It takes work, and it takes the type of commitment that it's okay. It's the type of commitment where two people have to say to themselves that I am going to love and appreciate the version of my significant other that I have today. And I'm going to be committed to loving whoever it is that they become. Right? Like that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? Because I can say, I'm not going to speak in a disparaging way. Even though I'll be speaking in the past tense, I'll still speak of my way. I'll speak of myself in the past tense in a disparaging way. I can say that every version that my significant other has had of me isn't one that I'm sure she's enjoyed very much, right? But there's this nature of committing to who you're with and being open to committing to the person that they're growing into, and that is a tough thing, particularly, watch this, in the public eye. Man, that's hard. It is hard, and it is the question. I mean, so many questions come to light when you begin to talk about a divorce of public figures. The first thing for me is like, man, I can't help but think what happens when we keep our relationships private. It's like, man, that helps in a lot of cases. And so it's challenging. And then there's another challenge that exists within the context of this relationship that may not exist within most. Candy's the breadwinner. She's the draw, right? She's the draw. She's the breadwinner. She's, you know what I mean? Like, and so I'm also questioning and wondering if relationships work rather long term when the woman is the draw. And listen, that's not a dig at women. That's not a dig at women, because certainly women can do what it takes to become the breadwinner. That's obvious, and it's proven in what we're looking at. But I I'm my angle is more so the psychological angle, right? Like, because the pressure that is associated with being like the philosophical leader, the protector, the person who leads and takes on the criticism. I believe, this is my theory, I believe that type of temperament is built over years. I don't believe it's the type of temperament that you can acquire with education, so to speak. I think that at least generationally, at least in the Western civilization, I think this idea of constant criticism, I think this idea of sometimes maybe people, and this may be an element of African American. This may also be an element of the African American experience, but where you are looked at from the perspective of what you don't do. Um, when you're looked at from the the mental position of what your family is or is not is up to you, right? Because typically speaking, like what becomes of a family is the man's reputation, generally speaking, right? Not all, obviously these cultural lines are being removed and moved, but I'm just talking about in the last 40 to 50 years. You know, if the family is no good, if the children aren't what they're supposed to be, that's a negative representation on the man. And so now, as we fast forward to 2025, and you see women, lovely, talented, beautiful women like Miss Candy, um, leading their families, and in doing so, placing themselves in harm's way as it regards to the criticism and the expectation. Not is it can you acquire the money, the notoriety, the fame, right? Right? Can you Can you make a business profitable, right? That's one element. Can you put up with the mental pressure of cementing your legacy, right? You know what I mean? Like, for example, Arch Manning. This is out of left field, right? And so, but just hear me out. Arch Manning making it to Division I football was two things: his father's doing and his father's legacy. You see what I mean? The success of the next generation is something that is looked at as something that the man has to do. And therefore, watch this, when it does not come to fruition in the way that it should, the man faces the criticism. And so again, the question or the theory that I'm pushing at or probing at is, and again, I don't know them personally. I know absolutely nothing about it as the reason why they split. I'm just processing this as a fan, as an onlooker, just like you are, right? And I'm asking myself, is the pressure of cementing the legacy of a family something that should fall on a person who has not been brought up to be accustomed to the amount of pressure that you know what I mean? Like, there are certain things that were thought of Todd. People thought certain things about Todd. People thought that Todd was kind of like, trying to come in and benefit from Candy's good name. Like, that all, in my mind, has to play some type of role in the way that Candy's looking at her man, right? If he's not the breadwinner, and if you got people chirping in the back of your mind that this guy is coming into the relationship to benefit off of the name that you built before you met him, right? Matters a damn if that's accurate or true, right? It's being fed. And again, do you have the type of temperament and mental makeup? And again, this is nothing against Candy. I don't know these people. I got to keep saying that. I don't know these people. But do you have the mental makeup and the temperament to take that criticism, to hear over the years that you're being used by your man? Do you have the temperament to take that, right? Because, like, we almost accept as men that, like, this whole apparatus is kind of set up so that the women and children can have it easy, right? So what happens if you find yourself in a relationship where you're the woman? Yes, but because of the name recognition or the wealth that you've accumulated, you are now in the mental position of making it easy for your man and the children. Ooh, that seems like, you feel me? That seems like the part of the relationship that people don't want to sign up for. It's not the part where you're making the money or being the breadwinner. It's the part where those resources are then supposed to be used, watch this, to make life easy for the person that you were brought up to believe should be your protector and provider. That's a tough task. And I think that probably isn't the reason. Again, I don't know these people, but that has to be somewhere playing in the background. You are watching Chip in the Morning. Listen, we are responding to current events, the things that you're seeing on your timeline, politics, sports, whatever it is, the conversations that you want to see us having, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to cover those topics on Chip in the Mornings. We're going to have wonderful musical guests. We're going to have poets. We're going to have different artists, spoken word artists, rappers, musicians, you name it. Now, I don't want to give these other people a shout out, but we're competing with a similar morning show that is filmed and taped in New York City, if you know what I mean. But the theory and the idea and my belief is that this market, the Detroit, this Midwest market, is just overflowing with talent. And so we're creating this stream, this podcast series, this morning show series to highlight some of the great things going on in music and film and spoken word here in the city of Detroit. Please, please, please follow this page. Like, share, subscribe. Let our friends know what we're doing. What are we doing? We're spreading the word. We're responding, obviously, to current events, sports, things of that nature, politics. But we're also highlighting the great artists that we have here in the city of Detroit on Chip in the Mornings. We'll see you soon. We are rounding third base here this morning, and I want to thank you once again for hanging out with us on the stream this morning. We are bringing back this morning show, and you will want to follow this page, like, share, and subscribe, because we're going to be bringing some of, well, I mean, if you know me semi-personally, then you know who I know to a degree. And so maybe you'll know a couple of the artists that we're going to be introducing. But I don't know if you guys remember this. We had artists on in the past. We had Nico Nior. We had P the Poet. Just to name just a couple of the most talented individuals that I've met since I've been in Detroit, right? And so that's just kind of like the tip of the iceberg. This time we're coming back harder, more intent, more intense, right? And with more intentionality, because we really want to highlight what it is that these great artists are doing here in the city of Detroit, as well as talk about the things that you're seeing on your timeline, reacting to the things that are taking place in the world of social media, in the world of pop culture and entertainment, in the world of politics. And so I thank you so much for rocking with us today. Now listen, look, Iris says she's almost dressed. All right, well, let's hurry up. Let's hurry with you so much, because we've been doing a lot of behind the scenes, and we've been working so hard on this series, and I am so excited to share. We're 4 episodes in, working on episode 5. We're in the middle of filming this great mini series entitled Demolition Detroit, starring Shantez Prince. Listen, great story about a prominent Detroit lawyer who decides to defend the defenseless. There's a woman in the city of Detroit, on the east side of Detroit, who's being pushed out of her home by the city of Detroit. And this story is about a prominent lawyer, starring Shantez Prince, deciding to set aside the other high-profile cases that he's dealing with so that he can defend this woman who is otherwise defenseless. And in doing so, he uncovers a major plot that you'll want to see. And so I want to give you a little sneak peek of this of a episode that we've done recently, because I want you to be grabbed by what we're discussing and by what we see here. So let me, without any further ado, give you a little clip of a recent episode of Demolition Detroit. Hope you enjoy.
When will you be here?
Want to pay a visit to? Those are questions that you can have answered if you check out our wonderful miniseries entitled Demolition Detroit, streaming on all platforms, starring Shantez Prince. Wonderful series, wonderful show, wonderful storyline about things that really, quite frankly, parallel reality here in the city of Detroit. And so it's not a series that you're going to want to miss. And it's just getting started. So if you and when you like, share, and subscribe, you'll be able to tell your friends that you remember when this series first came out. Demolition Detroit, thank you so much. You guys have a good one.
Your little ones learn to write. It comes with reusable markers and these indented lines on every page that guide them through each letter. Click the link below to grab this wonderful gift for your little one during this holiday season.
All right. Now listen, we have a wonderful line of educational books and different resources that Tierney and I have been, quite frankly, writing over the last couple of years, and we want to share them with you. I wrote a book about, we got a call coming in. If I'm being transparent, this, oh wait, this could be someone calling us. Let's see. Hello, you're live with Chip in the Mornings. Who am I speaking with? Oh. Hello, I'm sorry. You're live with Chip in the Mornings. Who am I speaking with?
Oronde Stokes.
Brother, man, good morning. How are you feeling, brother? Thank you for calling in. How's it going?
It's going. I see your title. What's going on with you?
Hey, man. Now, listen. This, the title that you may see right now is actually the title of a mini-series that I'm producing entitled Demolition Detroit. Now, you know that I ran for city council here in the city of Detroit, Michigan last year or earlier this year and wasn't successful. But while I was on the campaign trail, I really heard about the issues that were challenging people here in the city. And one of the biggest issues that people were facing was housing. And so I wrote a mini-series that kind of highlights a number of different things, but the real story underneath the story is the fact that housing is a real challenge, and we have to raise our voices so that the defenseless can find defense. How have you been doing, though, man?
Parks and Recreation. I'll be the Parks and Recreation of the
Yeah.
United States.
I got you. I got a great idea. And I'm so excited that you say that, because at the beginning of all of these projects that move our community forwards, we always have to do what? We have to start with our hands out. And I am introducing a new platform that I designed, obviously along with the assistance of artificial intelligence. But the name of the platform is called Gifter, and it is a crowdfunding platform that really speaks to the issue that you've just addressed. Because the main question that we've been asking ourselves, I'm so happy that you called in, and I want to delve into this in more detail whenever you come down to the studio. But the main question that we have to ask ourselves whenever we want to begin our projects is what? How do we find the money to get started? And so what we need to do is we need to come together, and this is quite frankly what we've already done. We've studied the group economic strategies of the past. We've taken a fine-tooth comb and cross-examined what the common pitfalls are as it pertains to as it regards to us not being able to put our money together and move our missions to the next level. And what we've decided and what we built is a platform that helps us to organize our resources, because we've got the money, brother, and the money exists in our hood. But you know what we've got to do in 2026? We've got to stop asking other people to fund the missions that we know are important to us. You know what I mean? And so what that means is we've got to create an apparatus to organize our own resources. I'll leave you with this. If we didn't have the money in our hood, if the money wasn't in the hood, liquor stores wouldn't be there. If the money wasn't in the hood, funeral homes wouldn't be there. If the money wasn't in the hood, convenience stores and check cashing places wouldn't be there. We just have to have leaders and thought leaders who are willing to pave the way and show people how it is that we can organize our resources, particularly using the technological advances that we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm with you. Well, I'll pray that all is well, man. We're gonna have a vision board party in the beginning of 2026. This is our 3rd annual vision board party. I would love to see you there, because another thing that we really, really got to do, brother, is we've got to find that community. We've got to find like-minded people that are on one accord, right? That's really, really one of the things that's missing, because that's what we're doing. That's the name of the event, the Vision Board Party. But essentially what I was saying a moment ago is that we really want to be networking. We really want to be putting these, what are your plans? What are your pitfalls? What are your challenges that you're working on right now? How can I help you move the project that you're working on and passionate about right now to the next level? That's what we're going to be discussing at the Friends, not the Friendsgiving. We just had Friendsgiving. That's what we're going to be discussing at the Vision Board Party. What were you saying? And as you see, the lines are live. So if you give me a call, you're going to get a pickup. You don't even have to, talk to an operator. You're going to get right. You're going to get me, right? And so you'll be on the stream. But thank you for calling in. Thank you guys for chiming in and for watching. Being successful in 2026 is going to be a matter of getting started early, organizing your plans, writing the vision, and making it plain, as they say. That's what we're doing now. So we're what, almost through November, getting ready to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. But now actually is the time to be thinking about what those goals are, what the things and the visions and the targets that you want to hit in 2026. Building that community, building that apparatus so that when January 1st comes, you're not doing a cold turkey thing. I've noticed that whenever we're trying to, and this is just me, you may be better with cold turkey, but I've noticed that whenever I am embarking on a new challenge that's going to require some level of increased discipline, before that commitment starts, I like to prep myself before. For example, those who know me know I've done keto 3 times in my life. I did 3 keto stints in my life, and I can't remember how much weight I lost the first time or the second time, because I gained it right back. But the 3rd time, I think I lost about 40 or 50 pounds. I got from I think I got from don't get me to lie to you, maybe like 210, 216, all the way down to like, I'm at like 167 now, right? I think I got down to like 163. But the last time, I guess third time's the charm, the last time was my most successful time. And what I noticed about myself is that there was a period before I started the keto. Because what I did was, I didn't just do keto. I did keto, I did intermittent fasting, I did 2 miles a day, and I did a gallon of water a day. I did those 4 things. So that's how I lost all that weight. But I didn't start them all on January 1st, right? I kind of prepped myself. I kind of got myself into the mental space to do it. I kind of started looking for those things on my social media. And so I kind of retrained my algorithm, and all I was seeing was keto recipes, right? And exercises and how to stay motivated. And, Eric Thomas was telling me to stay pumped, right? I was getting myself ready so that whenever I went into that full commitment mode, and doing all 4 of those things at the same time, I was successful. What am I saying? We're not going to start January 1st reaching for our goals. We're going to begin to organize them now. We're going to begin to find our community now. We're going to begin to retrain our algorithm so that our algorithm is telling us the things that we need to see instead of what we want to see. We're going to begin to do those things, and we're going to begin to build community, and we're going to begin to meet in person, because there's a hidden secret sauce to touching people in real life. We're going to begin to build that community between now, today's date at the time that I'm recording this is November 24th, and you know how many days we have until January 1st. That's what we're doing now, so that when we hit January 1st, we're already in the mental space. Our algorithm is retrained. Our community is built. Our mental fortitude is strengthened, and we're going to hit our goals. I got some crazy goals this year, and you're going to watch me hit them all, because we're building community. We're staying focused. We are getting with people with like-minded attitudes and spirits, and we're rubbing off on each other, and we're seeing the best in each other, and we're asking people, like I asked that gentleman a moment ago on the phone, where are you in your challenge? Where are you in your business? Where are you in your endeavors? And how can I use the resources that I have? And how can you reuse the resources that you didn't know you had to move your mission to the next level? I'm so excited. You're seeing here on our screen here, Demolition Detroit. This is a new mini-series that I wrote and produced. I want you to check it out. It's a wonderful story about a prominent lawyer here in the city of Detroit. Prominent lawyers have prominent clients, right? This lawyer, however, decides to defend a woman who is defenseless. The elderly in a city like Detroit are being pushed out of their homes every single day. And this is a story that is so real and just so grabbing, and it parallels reality in such a way you're going to be asking yourself if this has really happened. It's a great story entitled Demolition Detroit, starring Shantez Prince. I don't want you to miss it. It's a great miniseries. I believe, and you'll soon believe, that it's the #1 mini-series out right now. Don't miss it. It's entitled Demolition Detroit. Thank you so much.
Did you see me?
Well, as you can see, the phone is across the room. But can you hear me?
Facebook and TikTok.
Can you hear me though talking?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Because I got my mic. My sister got me a microphone.
Hello.
And it's oh, it's crazy. Yes, that's the microphone that I'm talking in on TikTok. Is the one that you got me.
Okay, so what you need to do is, while you live on TikTok, you need to put that mic in the caption, because now you're promoting that mic and you're getting paid 2 ways.
Okay. I gotta find the link.
Portia seemed like she's more in love with the Africans than Todd and Candy.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that feeds into my theory. My theory is that Candy was the breadwinner and the one that was holding the relationship together, and the one that.
That's not a theory.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. No. So that's not the theory. But the theory is that women can't do that. The theory is that, and let me not say woman, because that just starts a whole battle of the sexes. What I'm saying is that a person who is not built for the pressure of bringing a family to fruition should not be the person who's trying to bring the family to fruition. Todd may not be lost you. You keep going in and out. I think that's the thing that.
Because I couldn't see you.
Okay. Anyway, let me get on off of here. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us for Chip in the Mornings. Now listen, this is a morning show you don't want to miss. Do not miss this morning show. But in order to know whenever we are streaming, you have to like, share, and subscribe. Chip Van Gundy. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much to all of our special guests, those who made comments, those who liked, shared, and subscribed while we were streaming. Thank you guys so very much. We'll see you all next time.